All week. I was gonna do a video yesterday, but then the family came over, and yeah, here we are. It's Tuesday, so just got done mowing the lawn. So drink of choice, Revolution Brewery's anti-hero. So what's up, J Rod Ham? How's it going, man? Thanks for making it. So I got a whole heck of a lot of pickups to show up. Like I said, I don't know why I do this every single week. I was like, man, why did I get so much the last week? And then this week I got this. I got these. I got these. What's up, who dat? Then I got these. So yeah, it's not gonna fit. So definitely gonna have to clear off this space for a new shelf. Just so I think they had a dollar bin crazy something or other buying all those new books. LOL. I've tried who that, man. I keep going back to Godfather 3's best line in that whole movie. When Michael Corleone thinks he's out of the mafia and all that life, he's like, once you think you're out, they just pull you back in. That's where I'm at. So yeah. But anyway, they had like a big midnight release for the 4th of July when Batman 50 came out. Um, so I got a couple dollar bin books. What's up, Roman Curtis? How's it going, man? So I got these for Jeremy from Trinity Entertainment. He was looking for them for his Batman run from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. So had to pick them up for him. I'm going to put together a little bit of a package for him probably and send them out next month or so. I figure I'd get more than 3 books to send out because shipping's expensive, as we all know. But they had Batman Annual #3 for $1. This is a $5 book, and I'm guessing a lot of us didn't buy these Batman annuals. So there's that. And then he said he was missing a few in his run. So this is from the 0-year run. Batman #29. I actually had the C2E2 variant of this as well. I think signed by Scott Snyder. But actually, this is a double for me, I guess, because I have the regular cover and the C2E2 variant in my run. But I went ahead and bought this book for him. And then the last one I found for him is the A cover for Batman 33. I think the one in my collections, I think there's a Brian Hitch cover for this, is the one I have. But he wanted the Capullo one, so I'll probably be sending that off to him pretty soon. So there's those there, and then we'll go ahead and get into the new books for last week, and then I guess a little bit of a mini review or what I quickly thought. Hey, what's up, TJ Watson? Thanks for making it, man. I'll go ahead and start with what was on the top. Amazing Spider-Man #1. I didn't hear a lot of people talking about Amazing Spider-Man #1 this week. Either that or I just didn't get a chance to watch a lot of people's videos. I thought it was an okay book. I'll be honest, it didn't do a lot for me. I was more excited to see Ryan Otley on a Spider-Man slash mainstream title because I really like Ryan Otley from Invincible, the Robert Kirkman image book, of course. So I think I said it in the Comic Core chat where I was like, it feels like Mary Jane, is finally grown up from becoming Adam Eve from Invincible because they look pretty dang similar. But I don't have a problem with that. I always thought Ryan Otley's style was it fits very well into Spider-Man, in my opinion. I've always thought he'd make a good Spider-Man artist. So I'm really happy for him that he got to be on the Amazing Spider-Man, albeit another reboot, which, yeah, we won't get into the reboot stuff tonight. Nick Spencer, I've never been a huge Nick Spencer fan. I think he has a few fans out there, but like I said, it was all right. Is this worth $6? Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I think J. Rod Ham just said it as soon as I said it. I was waiting on that Spidey to hit the dollar bin. Be damned if I pay $6 for another reboot. I was getting to that point exactly, man. Like, it's a decent book, but I probably wouldn't pay $6 for it again. It'll be like half off, like $3, or probably in the dollar bins, like J. Rod said. So I will wait for it then, or it's probably gonna hit the Marvel Unlimited app in 6 months. And if you guys have the Marvel Unlimited Prime, I would definitely just read it on the free, see what you think. At least it's got good, awesome Ryan Otley art. I know Trinity's been talking about how there's like a poor man's Dark Knight Who Laughs, or whatever that character's called at the end of this, which there kind of is. So I was more interested to see our old pal the Lizard come back as a professor in full-on lizard form. I guess that's kind of a spoilers. I apologize, but yeah, maybe I'll save you $6 at the same time. So Anyway, that's enough about Amazing Spider-Man. Like I said, if you're a fan of Ryan Otley, you might want to pick it up, just so you can have Amazing Spider-Man #1 with Ryan Otley art. It does look good, in my opinion. But like I said, the story was average at best, especially for Spider-Man #1. I mean, yeah, enough said. Next up, another average book for me this week, but an awesome cover, Superman #1. The only reason I decided to pick this up, obviously, I hate saying I pick up stuff for the covers, but that David Mack cover is absolutely awesome. Oh, I can't remember if I said hi to Gomez or not. What's up, Gomez? How's it going, man? But yeah, definitely pick this up for the Dave Mack cover. Probably my cover of the week if you guys didn't hear my vote on the Comic Core chat last Friday. Story, once again, it was average. I missed out on Man of Steel. I didn't want to pay $4 an issue for it. I only bought the Adam Hughes art. I think it was issue 5. And like I said, I didn't really know what was going on, so I'm a little bit out of context on what's going on in the story. What's up, Chad? How's it going, man? When that Comic Core box, yeah, I think it did actually. But like I said, it starts out like his family's missing, which I was kind of looking forward to finally seeing Superman have that family dynamic kind of ongoing, kind of similar to, the best parts of Fantastic Four in recent years. I mean, he's got John Kent, his son, and Lois Lane, obviously his wife. So I was looking forward to reading a story where they're just, they're a family, they're just hanging out together, and they're also dealing with all the metahuman type stuff in the DC universe. And the first thing that Bendis does is remove that family element. So Superman is kind of looking for his family. So I was a little bummed out about that, but I've trusted Bendis in the past, with his Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. So maybe when this comes out in trade, I'll give it another chance, but I'm going to pass on issue 2 for now unless they got another awesome David Mack cover like this. So there's my little review of Superman #1. Once again, probably dollar bin book if you get to that. Unless you see this David Mack cover, pick it up, I guess, for $3.99. Don't pay any more than cover for it. Next up, my pick of the week, just because it was on top, Farmhand #1. If you guys see this in your shop, just go ahead and pick it up. Rob Guillory spent like the last year and a half perfecting this first run, so it's going to be good. Basically, it starts off with the family. There seems to be some sort of, this family has a falling out between father and son. Meanwhile, on top of it, as you can kind of see on the cover, some people really missed it. This grandfather just got a pistol in his pocket, farming crops with hands blooming out of the ground. So this cover pretty much, it seems like a simple cover, but it's kind of telling you a lot at the same time. So I thought this is a really awesome read. Hey, what's up, Rich, man? How's it going? But yeah, I don't really want to spoil too much about this, but yeah, check this out. I'm not gonna say too much more about this besides this book was awesome. It's my pick of the week, especially if you love Chew. Yeah, food. I figured you would have bought at least 6 covers, and then all those internet exclusive covers and all that good stuff. I'm just sticking with the cover A for now. Maybe one day I'll be like, man, I should have bought like all those internet exclusives and stuff like that. But yeah, check this book out if you guys see it. Absolutely. Next up, I picked up a second printing of The Weatherman #1. I missed out on the first printing. I went to 3 shops when I went to Chicago last week. The only one who had it was charging $8 for the first print. I'm like, no, no thanks. Definitely not spending $8. Yeah, Who Dat has not read it. Yeah, Who Dat, you can pause this video and read it. You definitely need to read it. If anyone in the chat, you need to read it, man. But Weatherman #1. It was all right. Once again, I was kind of into the story, and then they had like the animal violence in it, which really turned me off. But I really, like I said, it's probably got to take a 5-issue arc to truly figure out where this book's going to go. Yeah, if you see it at first print #1, you might just get it because it is a speculator book right now, I guess. For some reason, it's really taken off, but this just didn't do too much for me. Next up, a story I have been liking from Image, though. I saw #4. So we're kind of finding out how the Queen Tiger, if you will, actually became the Queen Tiger. So if you guys don't know too much about Isola, it starts off issue 1, starts off with this girl named Rook and a tiger she is trying to guide through this insane fantasy world / wilderness. And that's kind of all you know. You're kind of finding out the facts as you're going. And in this one, you kind of figure out the #1 rook may not be the heroine we think she is. She might have a little bit. She might have done some dark deeds to protect the queen. Maybe, we don't know. I think there's one more issue, and I think they're going to take a break for the rest of the summer. But definitely a compelling read. Some gorgeous art. If you guys see the first few issues, it's probably just worth waiting for the trade at this point, since it's up to issue 4. Because one more issue, they'll probably put out a trade within like 2 or 3 months. But I've been loving this book, honestly. So definitely recommend that. Next up was the surprise Robert Kirkman book, Die 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 #1. My shop had a ton of these, so if you guys see this, it's definitely worth checking out. At least the first issue. The forward was very interesting, just because Robert Kirkman talks about trying to recreate the magic of going to a comic shop and not knowing exactly what you're going to see on the shelves. So obviously not too many people knew this was coming out until Tuesday, which, as we all know in this community, comics come out on Wednesday. So this one, surprised a lot of people. And I guess there's variants out there and stuff, with the main difference is the message bubbles. So like there's, I guess, the valuable ones are like where there's no message bubbles at all, or like the only message bubble, I think she says, like, I just drank a something or other. Like the message bubbles are down here instead of up here. But nonetheless, I guess if you guys are hunting for that type of stuff, that's what you want to look for this book. But definitely an interesting #1 read. Don't want to spoil too much about this one either. It's got Chris Burnham on the art, which he's pretty awesome. If you guys have read the Grant Morrison Batman Incorporated run, he did, I think, the second half of the pre-New 52 and most of the New 52. Pretty much like what involved Damian Wayne. Chris Burnham worked on that quite a bit. And then Scott Gimple is the co-writer on it. I think he was the showrunner for The Walking Dead seasons 4 through 8. So I guess they got to talking during their Walking Dead run. And yeah, this is how we got this book. So check that out. My last current pickup, surprise, I guess, mainstream pick of the week for me, X-23 #1. Not the biggest fan of the art, I'll be perfectly honest. It felt pretty average to me. I wish they would have put a better artist on it. Like I would have loved to see, for instance, like a Jen Bartel on it. She did a killer X-23 / All New Wolverine cover way back when. I would have loved to see them pick up someone like that. But like I said, the art's average, but the story's actually pretty good. If you guys read like the Grant Morrison, I know this is my second Grant Morrison reference this live stream, but if you guys read the Grant Morrison New X-Men run, they actually allude to a lot of what's happened to the Stepford Cuckoos, because looks like they're going to be the main antagonist for this run. My other favorite part about this book was just the awesome chemistry X-23 had with Honey Badger. I don't know too much about Honey Badger because I missed out on a lot of the all-new Wolverine run, and I just happened to pick this up because they only had a few copies of this at my shop, so I didn't want to miss out on it. But between that, I really like the ending with the Stepford Cuckoos and that type of stuff, and just the hilarity that comes from Honey Badger, mixed with the seriousness, of course, of X-23. So since I got Chad in the chat, X-23 kind of reminds me a lot of Connor Kent Superboy. She's a clone of a popular character. She's just trying to find her place in the world. So mad respect to X-23. I'm glad she's still on her own title. She's hanging in there kind of like our boy Connor did during the early 2000s until the New 52 wiped him off the face of the earth. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Trinity? How's it going, man? Yeah, I think I've had a placeholder. I made a placeholder on my phone, then I'm on my lawn, and I want to use my computer for this. And I couldn't figure out how to activate the old one, so I apologize for that. So hopefully people aren't camping out in a stream that's not even going. So sorry about that. Like I said, I at least have one technical difficulty every live stream. So hopefully so far that'll be it. So those are my pickups for this week. Started by showing off your Batmans I found for you for $1. So I'll be probably shipping these to you. I have a few more things to give to you. So once again, Trinity, there you go. Since I got Poor Man in here. Poor Man, I couldn't find any Adam Hughes Wizards. I'll look at my parents' collection. I guess my collection, my parents' house, before I send you stuff. But so far, no Adam Hughes Wizards. Sorry, man. Yeah, boo. Sorry. I think someone was saying boo earns. So there's my Simpsons reference of the day. 1 second. Sorry, parched. Mowing the lawn really takes it out of you. And why I was joking around, Farley's Nerd Cave stopped by. How's it going, Farley? How's it going, man? I appreciate you stopping by. Your parents have a... Yeah, technically my parents do have a wizard collection because I left them all there except for like the tiny box I got up there. All right, so pickups out of the way. Next up, I'll get my half-price books. Sorry. Long day at the I've been at work since 7, came home mode, so I apologize for stepping on top of my words. But I got a half-price books haul here. Got all these for $1 a piece. Notice while I was in there that they're having a $1 days sale at the outlet, which is the one I shop at, of course, which means everything in the store is $1. Doesn't affect comics too much because everything I get's $1 anyway. However, trades are $1 too, so we'll get into those in a second. Man, sorry. First off, what's up, Jesse from JLS Comics? Thanks for stopping by, man. But I gotta say, Poor Man's Comics, I felt your heartbreak during that Alex Comic Corner live auction when Doom sold that Supergirl and Legion of Superheroes 23. I'm sorry you missed out on that, man. I'm sorry to Jeremy too, because I know everybody here probably wanted it. I wanted it, but it is what it is, man. Someone got a heck of a deal, is all I know. But anyway, for the comics I got from Half Price Books, I got a Batman Annual number 14. Never seen this I guess not variant. I've never seen this cover before. It's a Neil Adams cover from 1990, which I figured for 1990 and up Neil Adams work, that's actually a pretty sweet cover. So hadn't read it, hadn't heard of this one before. So thought this was really awesome. So had to pick that up for $1. Can't pass up on Neil Adams stuff for that. Next up, Captain America 264. So cool Mike Zeck cover. Of course, the X-Men are in peril there. They're not looking too good. Guess they lost to the Nazis, and of course, he's going to bail them out Captain America. So I thought that was a cool 1981 cap. Had to get that for $1. And then I cannot believe they had these like for $1. So if you guys have been paying attention to my channel previously, I've been collecting a few G.I. Joes here and there. So my local shop had a lot of bins for there's like the first 10 issues for 15, second 10 issues 15, so on and so forth. But they cut off at like 60. And if you guys pay attention, any G.I. Joe values, like once you get past 100, they get really hard to find. So they had, I think, issue 80. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. They have an issue 80 in here. Those aren't too easy to find, but I still passed on it because, like I said, believe it or not, I'm actually trying to cut down a little bit, even though I showed stacks on stacks on stacks when I started this thing. But nonetheless, I kept flipping, and I found this little stack here. So there's G.I. Joe 121. Like I said, you don't see these G.I. Joes past 100 too often, especially in dollar bins. 122. Fortunately, they didn't have 123, but they had 124. What's up, Spider Comics Fan 7? How's it going, man? Oh, congrats on winning Spidey Fans contest. I saw you play second place in that. G.I. Joe 125. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to read these too much yet, but I'll definitely be flipping through because I love me some G.I. Joe comics. 126. And then the last one I found was 127. So unfortunately, I think the last issue is 155. Obviously, that would be a heck of a find for $1. That thing goes for quite a bit. I don't expect to ever find that in a dollar bin, but you never know if I'm finding stuff like this. Like I said, I love shopping at this half price books because you truly never know what they're going to throw in there for $1. To my point, the next book in my stack, Amazing Spider-Man 344, the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, $1. So I guess this would be my stealth buy of the day, I guess, in terms of going to half-price books. G.I. Joe 111. I don't know, man. Like I said, those G.I. Joe 100s and up, you don't see them too often. So, yeah, first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, I could not believe I found that for $1. I think that's, what, $15 book online. Nothing too crazy, obviously, but still cool to have. I'm guessing once he's in that movie, those are going to be hard to get for some reason. I've been tripping over these 25th anniversary variants. What's up, Comic Bags 22? How's it going, man? But every time I see them, I manage to pick them up because I know there is a little bit of collectability to these. People do want them in the community, so I don't want to leave them in dollar bins for $1 because I know someone out there probably is going to want these eventually. So we'll have a Spider-Man number 20. Pick that up. Back to more Spider-Man. And the reason I pick up these Spider-Mans is there are two characters that are just sought after in these half-price books dollar bins. That's Batman and there's Spider-Man. No one else really gets picked through. Like, I've been finding good X-Men there for a while now, and other characters like Fantastic Four, Green Lantern. They have tons of that. But Spider-Man and Batman, those are the two characters that no matter what, people pick all those books up for a buck, no questions asked. So I got Spider-Man 333, cool Venom cover. What's up, Splash Page Comics, Mr. White Gloves? How's it going, man? Had to get some Maximum Carnage, Spider-Man 378. Sorry, these are a little bit out of order too, but I'm kind of trying to, I guess I'm starting to try to collect a little bit, basically any type of Amazing Spidey before 400. For whatever reason, I don't know, but who doesn't love Spider-Man? But next up, we got 350. Had to grab that, like I said. Buck. This is one of those books, like every time I see it in a dollar bin, I got to pick it up just because I love the run so much. X-Force #1. It's the Clayton Crane art run, I guess you could say, or Craig Kyle and Chris Yost. One of my favorite X-Force runs out there. I absolutely love this run. If I do a giveaway, I think if I do another giveaway, it's probably going to be at 250 subscribers. But if I do a giveaway at that point, or if I ever hit that amount, this book will probably be going in because I think I do have a couple copies of this at this point. But absolutely awesome read if you guys haven't checked it out yet. And then my last one, Supreme Blue Rose. This is one I haven't heard of until like about a month ago. This is a Warren Ellis written image book, but it's got Tua Lote as the artist in it. And kind of this year, she's like been one of my favorite artists I've discovered in the last year. I met her at C2E2. She was just an absolute sweetheart. She was awesome. Her art is phenomenal. She has this like grittier art style. It's a little similar. It's like a little bit more, I guess, I don't know if this will make sense or not. She's like an artsy Mike Allred. Not that like Mike Allred is artsy, but she's like a little bit more, I don't know how to describe it right now exactly, but I just love her art style. I don't know how else to put it. But I actually got issues 1 through 3 at a Midtown Hall not too long ago. Happened to see an issue 7 in there. I think this is the final issue of the run they did. So I decided to pick this up. I really don't know how to describe this book. It's a pretty, I feel like there is a huge Twin Peaks influence. What's up, Comic Book of Steve? Yeah, Tua Lote is awesome. But I feel like there's a little bit of a David Lynch influence in this book, which you can totally see that. So hopefully I can find issues 4, 5, and 6 and finally complete the story to see if it's a little bit more straightforward or if it's just a crazy roller coaster ride of awesome art. So nonetheless, happy to have this awesome piece of art and a cool Warren Ellis read. So on to the next day, I actually went to Half Price Books 2 days in a row because, like I said, I was driving by. I'm like, cool, they're having everything's for $1. So unfortunately, I had to work till about 6 or 7 o'clock that day. So I missed out probably on the bulk of what they had. But I did get a couple scores. So for $2, I got these 2 books. So for $1, I got Fables Trade, Fables, Legends in Exile. This basically collects Fables 1 through 5. Believe it or not, I've never read Fables before. I've heard so many good things about Fables. I usually love the Vertigo line of comics. For some reason, I've just always missed out on Fables, so I couldn't pass up the trade for $1. So I'll definitely be putting this on my read pile for sure. And then I found this Uncanny X-Men storyline. It's from the Brian Michael Bendis run. I think it collects Uncanny X-Men 32 through 35 plus 600. They had $10 on this. It's actually a hardcover. So I figured since it had an original price $25, $1's pretty good deal. So if nothing else, like I said, if I do that giveaway at $250 or whatever, if I don't like it, it'll be going in. If I like it, maybe I'll keep it and then throw it in. So that was my awesome Half Price Books haul for the week. Like I said, we're cutting down. See? All right, next up. Always got to get an auction haul somehow every single week. So here's one I couldn't pass up from the Legends Live auction. Won a lot from Brandon Stowinski. So I'll just go ahead and start with the top book since it's on top. I think I paid maybe $50-ish shipped. Yeah, I did get an eBay haul. We'll be patient about that, Trinity. That's coming up. I'm saving it for the main event. Not to say that Brandon's lot's not a main event, though, because I finally got a Venom Lethal Protector. Another book, just somehow it's always eluded me, especially with the movie hype going, all that good stuff. Figured it'd be a decent time to get this because even my local shop, I think this is like a $20 wall book for them now. So no stealth buys here on this one. So I figured this would be the best way to get this. No, I didn't get a 50% off sale. Poor man's. They had a. I think the outlet stores work a little bit different than the regular half price books. Like I said, they have like these crazy Saturday sales. Sometimes they'll have like $1 for everything, like they had this last Saturday, and then like once a quarter they'll have the tote bag sale, which that's the best time to go because you can cram some crazy stuff into one tote and get it for $20. Hey, what's up, Miss Hustle? How's it going? But nonetheless, finally got the Venom Lethal Protector #1. Happy to have that. But like I said, there were a lot of cool stuff. Some of these are actually repeats for me, so I'll have to, I guess, put them in a giveaway. I don't know why I keep wanting to give away stuff. I think I'm just going to do a giveaway. Why not? Once again, Spider-Man 332. Trying to fill in those Spider-Mans. Another 333 for me. Happy to finally have these next two covers. 346, awesome Eric Larson Venom cover. One of the best. So finally happy to have that. Very cool cover. Always envied the people who showed that one. And of course, they'd have a 347 as well, where he has the Spider-Man skull. So absolutely love these covers. 375, that cool 90s-ified shiny gold cover. So hopefully I'm not blinding you guys at home. Yeah, I know. I should have picked up all the Venoms when they were 50 cents way back when. I mean, we kind of go back to the whole like talking about the Donny Cates run currently. I never really collected Venom until just recently with the whole Donny Cates run that I've very much enjoyed. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows #5 variant edition Humberto Ramos cover. So who doesn't love some Humberto Ramos Spider-Man? I think it's the character he draws the best is Spidey and Venom. And then there's a little run of Domino. So the Dominoes 1 through 3. So there's issue 1, #2, and #3. So happy to have those. Who doesn't love some Domino? Next up, got an Origin #2 variant. I believe that was the Kieran Gillen, Adam Kubert run of 6. This one's a Steve Lieber Deadpool cover with a nuke in the back. So that's pretty cool. Now, this is a cover I'm surprised maybe I just missed out on it, never seen it. I mean, you guys probably seen it before. Deadpool 23. I don't know if this is a regular or a variant. Nonetheless, it's really cool. Mark Brooks Alien Swipe cover, I guess. So I thought that was really cool. Always got to have mad respect for Mark Brooks just because he can change up his art style so much. I mean, it still kind of looks the same if you study it enough, but I just like how it's a little bit darker and all that good stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. X-Men Gold #1, Deadpool wins a Cyclops Award, Ron Lim variant, I guess. I think he said this was part of that recalled edition they had, so kind of cool to have that. I should say it's really cool to have that. It's not kind of cool. I don't know why I said that. Carnage #10, another cool cover. Trying to figure out if I can figure out the artist on that, but nonetheless, we'll just go ahead and show it. I thought that was pretty awesome. Donny Cates made all Marvel Comics relevant again. He kind of has, honestly. I'm just trying to think of, like, if it wasn't for Donny Cates, would I be collecting a lot of Marvel? I don't know if I would or not. But nonetheless, that guy, I'm glad at least I got one writer who's just skyrocketing right now. Another one, What If, featuring Spider-Man the Other. Luckily, it looks like Peter David got to write this, who was one of the main writers on Spider-Man the Other way back in the mid-2000s. If I remember correctly, I think Spider-Man the Other is basically like he gets beat up really bad by a bad guy, has to go into like a cocoon or something. He like loses an eye in the process, and then by the time he comes out of the cocoon, he has the organic web shooters. Like I said, it's probably been like a decade and change since I've read that original storyline, but I remember reading them as they were coming out, and I thought it was kind of cool back in the day. So I might actually crack that open, check it out, see what that's all about. That's a fifth appearance. Carson, the Carnage is the first. Oh, okay. So it's the first Rise. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Thanks, Jeremy. And then there's a little bit. I think it's the whole run of Deadpool versus Carnage. Once again, Colin Bunn. I need to read more Colin Bunn. I don't have a lot of his stuff, so it looks like he did this whole run of Deadpool versus Carnage. So there's #1, #2, #3. And then the last issue from the whole lot is #4. So once again, thank you, Brandon Stowinski. That was a phenomenal deal. Always get some good deals on these auctions. Like I said, if it wasn't for these auctions, man, Like I'd probably have like half the books I have in 2018. So there's always some just phenomenal deals you guys can get. So, you know, Alex Comic Quarter has them, Legend has them, All About Comics has them, Spider Fan, the New York Warriors. I think TiVo of the Lords of the Long Box is finally having one this month, which that guy has some phenomenal books. I mean, I'm not to say that I'm not hyped for everybody's auctions, but Lords of the Long Box auctions. Oh man, I cannot wait to see what he has. I think his is the only auction I've spent like $300 or more on. Like I'm trying to think of what all I got in one of his auctions. But I got some cool stuff from him. But yeah, we got a lot of cool auctioneers, if you will, in the community. All right, so I know Jeremy's been waiting. The main event, finally. So to preface this, here's kind of what I got. Batman the Black Mirror. This is the hardcover. I've got it signed by Scott Snyder and Jock. I absolutely love Scott Snyder's Batman. Love Jock's artwork. So not to mention Francisco Francavilla. He cannot be understated in this run too. He has some awesome artwork in himself. So Black Mirror is an absolutely awesome read. And that actually, this might have been the book that got me hooked on Jock's artwork. I just wanted to quickly highlight this awesome art book too I have from Jock. If you guys see him at a con and have this book, take this book with you, even though it's, I mean, you can kind of tell, like, there's my head and here's the book. It is a huge book, but it's worth taking just because Jock will actually do a cool sketch for you inside it. So this is a very cool art book. If you guys check it out on Amazon, or I think this is distributed through mondotees.com as well. I don't know if Jock has a website you can get this from, but this book is a must-buy if you're a Jock fan. So just to preface what my actual eBay haul is here. And I'm going to drag it out a little bit longer because I want to talk about my top 10 of 2018. So at the beginning of the year, I made a top 10 list. And I have narrowed it down to now 3 books after this lot. So the 3 books I have remaining for the 2018 list is Green Lantern #1 from 1960. That's the first ongoing title that Hal Jordan had, which is one of my top favorite characters. I absolutely want that book. That was like the top, I guess, big boy book, if you will, I put on my list. I try not to make it too insane. Then the next one is Amazing Spider-Man 252. I still don't have a copy of that. It continues to elude me. For a decent price. I don't really want to pay a lot of money for that because it might not show by the books here, but I try to be a cheapskate for the most part. I'll still try to make someone a good deal. And then the last one's Chew #1, which that might be the most valuable book now on my list because Chew, it just keeps going up and up and up. But I really love the whole series of Chew. I want that #1. And what I have completed, and I might show some of these in my I'm glad Poor Man's is here because I'm going to try to put out a video Thursday for my community support. So I think I'm going to do Poor Man's Comics, Bueller, and then somebody else. I was going to do Lindsay's Geeked Out Knickknacks, but I missed out. I think yesterday was the last day for her contest. But some of the best, like Poor Man's wanted me to show some of the best items I've got this year, and most of them are on this list. So I've got Wonder Woman #1 already this year. I got an X-Men 51. Which is one of those Steranko covers. So I already had a 49 and a 50. I needed 51 to kind of complete the X-Men Steranko trilogy, if you will. I got a Sandman #1, which I'll talk more about that next video because that's another fun long story. X-Factor #6, First Apocalypse. I just had the rest of those, so I kind of need that to complete that run. Poor Man's Comics in here again. I'll mention one more time. New Teen Titans #1. Thanks, Poor Man's Comics. Appreciate it. Why the Last Man #1, talked about that last video. And then number 10 on the list, boom, Detective Comics 871. After all that build up and explaining, this is the main book I was looking for in this lot that day. Sorry, I already got in that shiny Mylar. This one's for Legend. Got in that full back already. So at least at the very minimum, I kind of wasn't expecting to get a full run of the Black Mirror, but I at least wanted an 871 because it is like the first Scott Snyder on ongoing Batman. And of course, you know, you got Jock and Francisco Francavilla on the art too. So this one is pretty much near impossible to get for a decent price at cons just because Scott Snyder and or Jock go to a decent amount of cons in the Midwest. So retailers will always mark this up just a little bit more than $30-$40 because they're at that con, and people want to get it signed and all that stuff. I just want it because, number one, I absolutely love this cover. I'll get to that in a second, Roman. Uh, but this might be my favorite cover in the whole Black Mirror. When I met Jock, he was selling prints of this for $100, and it was like a really big version of the print, and it had like this like cool. It was like a canvas texture. It had like that like broken off like edges that were like purposely supposed to be there to make it look a little bit more artsy, I guess. But nonetheless, my buddy bought one, and I'm still kind of jealous he bought it. If I had $100 to spend on it by Saturday of the convention, I probably would have spent it on this print. But I absolutely love this cover. I love this book. So happy to finally have it. This is definitely, I'm so glad to check it off my top 10 list. So I got this, and then I got this little lot here. It's got a few more of the Black Mirror books. I paid, just to go into the story, Roman was asking how much. I think he's actually asking how much for the book. Just now reread it. Not for sale. Sorry, Roman. Maybe one day, but not today. So basically there was this, I was searching for this on eBay. It's kind of before work. Usually I got so few books left on my list. I'll just type them in, see if there's a potential stealth buy or a solid buy on eBay. So I just searched for Detective Comics 871, and then this lot popped up. It was a newly listed. I actually dragged it down, hit refresh. This lot popped up, and it was like starting bid, maybe $20, or best offer. So I'm just like, or best offer. I never really seen like an or best offer on an auction. So that usually means like, hey, I'll give you like $50 for a $10 item or whatever. See if they accept it. But I knew what was in this lot. I'm like, it's most of the run. I'm just like, you know what? I'll throw a respectable $80. I threw $80 at this, expecting like, yeah, it's a little bit. I think it's a low ball bid. Within 5 minutes, they accepted the bid. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? So I got this for $80. We'll see if you guys think it's worth it. So once again, happy to have the 871. This is $30 or $40 book on its own. And then usually I think most of the rest of the lot, maybe they're like $4 or $5 books, a little bit over cover, not too crazy. But I don't have a lot of the run, so I was happy to fill in these gaps in my collection, if you will. So I got 872. So another, like I said, these are all awesome Jock covers. Well, most of them. Some Frankavilla did some of the other ones. 873. Got 874. So like I said, Frankavilla took over on this one. 875. 876. Hungry City. Actually, I think I have doubles of this one and the next one. I think I have like, this is my third copy of 877. 878. And unfortunately, there was one missing. So you guys could probably guess what that is. So, 879 was missing. So that means I got an 880 in the lot. So there we go. So this book on its own sells for about $200-ish or more. So luckily I got it for $80 for everything. So, I mean, for $80, like in my opinion, this is a little bit of a stealth buy. I call it just a solid buy, if nothing else. But I never dreamed I'd actually get this cover. It's gone so insane on eBay lately. I mean, it just keeps going up and up and up. I think other channels have said like this is like the first like crazy modern variant that's just taken off like into just. It's actually not even a variant. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm so used to saying variants taking off. This is just. I think I'm good, Rich. I actually think I might have a 879 in my collection. So either that, it's gonna end up on the 2019 want list. So yeah, 880. I'm so happy to have that. It's probably going right up on the wall. Can't believe this is in that lot. I was actually seriously wondering if it was in the lot because it was divided up into two pictures too. That's why I had to make sure I had some sort of offer on this because all these were picture number one, and I had them all laid out nicer, obviously, and I'm holding them up. And then you had to actually click on the auction and swipe the picture, and then these two are picture number two, which I also got an 881. Yay, there's that too. Which I think I might have a multiple copy of that. But man, like as soon as I got this in the mail, I think I just sat there in my recliner and stared at these two books for probably like 10, 15 minutes straight. just because, like I said, I'm such a big Jock fan. Scott Snyder. Oh my God, I'm so happy to have these. So, like I said, I can't believe I got these for $80. I thank you, that eBay buyer. Hopefully, Trinity got his lot too. I shared it with the Comic Core, so they put up a few good lots. Whoever the seller is, so we'll see if hopefully Jeremy will have a pickups video soon too, showing off his lot. But yeah, I got an 880 finally, so didn't see that one coming. That was probably gonna be like one of those books for my 2019 list. I put it like number 1 or 2, just to just to have something like kind of unachievable on there, I guess. So just like I thought, yeah, I'm slacking on videos too, man. So let's see. So that's finally, after 40 minutes, all my friggin' hauls this week. Like I said, hopefully this week, like next week, I'll have a live video where I'll just have like a 5-minute video showing current releases. So yeah, I don't know why I keep buying this much. Another thing I wanted to highlight tonight, I just wanted to go back to Symphonic Elk's contest. He has a really good cause going on right now, where he's fundraising money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It looks like he is up to $475. He had an original goal of $250, and I was kind of hoping as a community we could double that for him. So there's kind of my shout out to Symphonic Elk. So like I said, $1 buys you an entry into his awesome contest. So there's that. What other plugs can we do? Comic Core be meeting up 10 p.m. Friday nights. Sorry, I was telling the Comic Core the other day, once you start live streaming, it gets hot in these rooms somehow. Nonetheless, Comic Core on Reviews from Batcave's channel Friday nights. I believe we have a contest going on where you go, I think it wasn't last week's video, but the week before, where you want to pick your top 7, like basically create your Justice League. So obviously, if you want to read a Justice League book, pick your 7 characters, and then there's like a bonus entry if you pick a manager. So like, I guess pick your Bobby Heenan, if you will. I know Legend keeps saying classy Freddie Blassie, but I grew up with Bobby the Brain, so gotta love Bobby the Brain Heenan. So pick your 7 characters, pick your manager, and I think there'll be more details on a giveaway this Friday's video. So this Friday's Comic Core at 10 p.m. will be a can't miss video. If you guys like contests, that type of stuff. One character we did leave out though in all of our Justice Leagues was the question. Like, how did I forget the question? Like, and I was going for the alternate realities and timelines too. Would have loved to pick Renee Montoya's question from 52. So Midnight Suns, very nice. All right, so there's those plugs. Bobby Heenan, that's a name I've not heard in a whole. Oh yeah, but R.I.P. Bobby Heenan. He is probably like one of the most entertaining wrestling talkers of all time, to say the least. Like, I think Vince McMahon said himself in one of the documentaries, like he could have been like a Johnny Carson or Jay Leno. Like, he was that good on the mic and just entertaining. So yeah, there's my Bobby Heenan respect for the week. Oh yeah, thank you, Houdat. There's a Legends Live auction this Friday. I believe they usually start that at 10 p.m. Every other Saturday night. So it's usually the first and third Saturday of every month. So third Saturday of the month is this week. So Saturday, 10 p.m. Legends Live auction. Looks like Houdat will be there. I'm sure Robin Curtis will be there putting on bids. Him and I think he's the Jordan of that Jordan and Pippen combo. So I always love to see them bidding on stuff. TJ Watson shouting out Batwoman. She is I guess they're doing a CW Batwoman show, which I think is really cool. I've always loved that character ever since Greg Rucka. I think Greg Rucka is technically the one who created her in 52. It's kind of hard to tell just because in 52, I mean, you had 4 writers and none of them really took credit for individual issues. They kind of just shared the credit. But when Batwoman went into Detective Comics, it was Greg Rucka writing. So I'm assuming it was mostly Rucka. But it's an awesome Detective Comics run. So hopefully the CW show pays very close attention to what's going on in that book and kind of sorts of emulate that a little bit. What's up, Count Von Strange? How's it going, man? Tacoma's in here. Hey, how's it going, Tacoma Comics? But yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see what they do with Batwoman. I hope they don't oversaturate their whole airwaves with DC comic shows. I kind of hope they keep it. I think they usually try to keep it around 3 shows on the air at a time. So I don't know if that's something they're planning for next summer or anything like that. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to this. I'm guessing they're probably going to introduce her in Arrow probably about halfway through next season or something like that. And then they'll hope the character takes off and then do something maybe mid-season or next summer with that character. So that'd be pretty cool, I think. I'm excited to see what they can do with Batwoman. They kind of do need a little bit of a few new characters, obviously. I haven't had a chance to watch Black Lightning yet, but I've heard really good things about Black Lightning. Them putting Constantine and Legends of Tomorrow, I think that's going to be really cool. I think he was a great fit in the episodes he was in. So make him a regular, give that show a breath of fresh air it needs. Hopefully it'll be written a little bit more intelligently next season. But if nothing else, it always has great character interactions. So we'll see. Hey, Tacoma Show. Yeah, shout out to Tacoma Comics. He got a stealth buy on a Chew #1. So it's funny, Tacoma. I was thinking when I posted my Sandman #1 dollar buy, and you put in a comment something about like your wife was like making fun of you because you got so mad that I found the Sandman #1. At least you finally found Chew #1 for like, what'd you say, like I think $1 to $5, something like that. So basically a steal, $1.50. Yeah. So ripped or not, man, it sucks that it had that tape pull, but nonetheless, $1.50 for that book, man, that's phenomenal. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. So what else can we talk about, guys? It's 9:47. I guess we can just call it a day if you guys want, unless anyone has any other topics. Anyone else got any plugs? Like I said, I know Poor Man's Comics, he's still running a 225 subscriber contest. Let's see. I guess we can just go over who was in the chat tonight. So, like I said, Tacoma, Count Von Strange just joined us. Poor Man's Comics as usual. Netflix released the Miller World stuff. Oh, Poor Man, Thursday I'm going to try to put out a video for your contest, man. I've been slowly sorting out stuff to show. So, what my strategy is anymore. I do these contests. And then I pull out the short boxes. I get my book out for the contest, and I sort like 10 books into the book or the boxes once I get my one book out. Trinity saying Magic Order #2 comes out tomorrow. Yeah, the issue 1 was a really good read if you guys haven't checked it out yet. So I definitely added that to my pull list. I actually made a pull list for the first time in years last week, just because I've been collecting a lot of image stuff, and my comic shop gets like one copy of an image book if it's not a #1, it seems like. So I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on Magic Order or Farmhand or anything like that. I might actually add Die to the pull list. I thought it was a decent enough issue. I'll probably continue to read a couple issues into that, just see where they're going with that. Let's see what else. Okay, Tacoma's saying they're going to make shows on Magic Order, Jupiter's Legacy, Huck, and Mistress. I think that's what he's saying. So I haven't read too many of those. I've read, obviously, Magic Order. Didn't read too much of Jupiter's Legacy, so I've heard decent things about that. I think I have a Huck #1 somewhere, but I don't remember too much about it, and I haven't read Mistress. Yeah, Rich, definitely check out Magic Order #1 if it's easy for you to attain. Don't pay extra for it. I'm sure there are plenty of copies out there. What else comes out tomorrow? There were a few things. So I guess I can always use the old iPad to look on Midtown. So I know there are a few books I was looking forward to. We may as well, while we're here talking about comics, we may as well talk about some books. Why not? So let's see what we got. Sorry, trying to not create dead air here. Life of Captain Marvel art germ for you guys who love those. Get those germs, I guess. Gideon Falls #5 is tomorrow. I think at this point on Gideon Falls, I'm going to wait for the trade because I think I have the first 2 issues, and then my shop didn't really get issues 3 and 4, so I kind of gave up on that. Has anyone out there read the Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 12? I've heard, I think it was from Comic Bandage's channel. He was saying that was really good, and just the premise of that really interested me. Because I did really like Buffy. I mean, Buffy's like my favorite show of all time, and I really like Buffy season 8. And I see Joss Whedon has a writing credit on the new Buffy, so I might actually have to check out Buffy's 1 and 2. But other than that, I really don't read too much Dark Horse. I'm skipping Batman 51 after 50. I'm so sorry for the Batman fans, especially since the Batcave's in the chat. But I'm taking a break from Bats. I'm sorry. I think, isn't there? Yeah, Justice League #4 comes out tomorrow. So I wish it. I will say this. I do miss Jim Chung on the art, but when you're putting your book out every 2 weeks, like you gotta have multiple artists in there. But Jorge Jimenez, his art is a little iffy on issue 3, so we'll see if he can recover in issue 4 tomorrow. I really hope it looks better. Story's been good at least. Scott Snyder, I mean, he's been killing it. Hopefully, he toned it down a little bit compared to Dark Knight's Metal, which is good. And then he's taking it old school with the whole, Legion of Doom versus our favorites from the Justice League. Trinity saying Batman 51 starts a whole new storyline with Mr. Freeze and it looks great. So that's cool. Yeah, let me know how it is, Trinity. If it's good, I might. You'd probably convince me to pick it up because if someone says it's good, I'll probably get sucked into getting it. Oh, really? Last Mark Waid Archie's coming out too. Wow, he's been on for that long. Good for Mark Waid. I love Mark Waid. So I may have to pick up all those Archies one day. So everybody loves Mr. Freeze, which I think right there is one of my favorite Mr. Freeze stories. That Batman Annual #1 from Scott Snyder. Jeremy, I see here in the chat. If you don't have that annual already, you need to get that, man. That's probably my favorite read of the whole New 52 relaunch. Is that Batman annual right there? So and that's that Mr. Freeze story where they do change up his origin a little bit. So that's an absolute awesome read in my opinion. Going to put Buffy musical soundtrack on. Nice. I might actually have to do the same thing, TJ. That Buffy musical. I'll segue real quick because why not? People are still watching this for some reason. Me and my buddy in college, like we would have a few drinks like this, and college kids are idiots. Sorry, that's just the way it is. They don't have those awesome livers yet, and some people they get a little crazy or they just get really dumb. So the dumb things we do is like, hey, it'd be awesome right now if we just turn the speaker as loud as it could go and watch the Buffy musical, and so you could hear it down the entire rest of the block and the college apartments. And that's the type of stuff we did in college. So love the Buffy musical. One of the best. Yeah, they got the mustard out. Thank you for that, Tacoma. Yeah, that's awesome. Like I said, nonetheless, once more with feeling probably maybe the best hour of television in history. Like maybe non-serious television, even though it was kind of a serious episode. Like I said, maybe the best serious episode of television would probably be like a Breaking Bad episode. That like second to last episode they did of that. Phenomenal drama television. But once more with feeling like you can have a few beers and enjoy yourself watching that episode, not feel too sad. It's an absolutely amazing piece of television. So nonetheless, back to what comes out this week. Let's see what else I can recommend or hope for. Analog comes out this week. Jerry Duggan's been killing it on Analog. I don't know if anyone out there has been reading it otherwise. But man, Analog's it's a pretty cool premise. Let's see. Everyone's hooked on the Buffy musical now, which is awesome. The Buffy musical soundtrack is awesome. It has Adam Hughes cover on the CD. Oh, I never really realized that. I guess that is Adam Hughes. I never really put 2 and 2 together. It's like, that's a cool looking cover. But no, that's really awesome. It's funny when I did meet Adam Hughes last year, and I think the 2 things we talked about, because Adam Hughes, when you're meeting him and getting a signature or a sketch from him, he doesn't talk a lot. He's just kind of like one of those guys. He's like a please and thank you guy, and that's it. But the 2 things I got him to get a little chat, or actually I think it was 3 shows he got chatty about, was Buffy, was Arrested Development, because I was wearing my Banana Stand t-shirt, and what was the last, like Gilmore Girls. Like him and his wife just started talking about Gilmore Girls. So I thought that was pretty funny. I didn't bring up Gilmore Girls because I never watched that show, but he seemed to really like it. So yeah. Next up, Dry Country. I'm behind on Dry Country, but the first issue is pretty cool. It's a Rich Tommaso book, so it's a little bit stylized. And East of West. There's a book I need to really get caught up on is East of West. I think I have the first 12 issues, which I don't know if you guys noticed behind my left shoulder here. I got a little stack of books here. I'm kind of putting together a lot of lots to sell and that stuff. I kind of got like $1 book stack I'm going to take to my parents' antique shop, see if I can sell for $1. And then I got like lots I might eventually either A, give away, or B, put on the Legends Live auction just to clear out space. So yeah, that's why there's random stacks of books in here. Flavor number 3, I kind of dug the first issue, but not enough to get the second issue. That might be a trade for me eventually. Like I said, I just love the idea of like, it was like a dog eating a hot dog or something like that on the first issue cover. Are you selling East of West? I was thinking about selling. I think I have the first 11 issues. I might be selling those. We'll see. Um, I guess if you want to make me an offer for them, I can get them out. I can't remember if I took them out of the boxes or not. But I mean, I think I need space in every box. So if you're absolutely looking for, maybe hit me up in the chat, and then sorry, poor man. One day you're probably going to convince me to sell that. So Poor Man's Comic still ends by Gotham City Sirens, variant number 1. See, you reminded me of that book's a little, I might have to sell that book now because it broke my heart last week. So I was getting it down. I was going to rub it in Poor Man's face on his contest video. Sorry, spoilers, Poor Man's. But I noticed when I was switching it to a Mylar bag, there is a minuscule, probably this big, little tear on the bottom left corner. And I'm like, God, it's not a 9/8. But at least it's signed by J.G. Jones. So at least there's that. Kind of makes up for the tiny, minuscule tear. I didn't even notice it for a decade, so it's not that noticeable. But I just noticed it when I was taking it out of the poly bag and put it in a Mylar. So that's what I get for kind of taunting Poor Man's with it. So anyway, spoilers, that'll be on your contest video somehow. I'll probably just randomly show it because you keep asking for it every time. Ice Cream Man number 5 comes out this week. That's been one of my favorites recently. It's just the scheduling for it's been a little weird. I think they did the first 4, and then they took like a 2 or 3 month break, and then now it's back. So I look forward to Ice Cream Man number 5. If you guys kind of like the horror genre type of books, each book is its own thing. And imagine the Ice Cream Man is more or less like the Crypt Keeper, except he interacts a little bit more with the characters from time to time. But usually there's like one overlaying story per book, and usually something weird or bad happens to the character in the book, and the Ice Cream Man will kind of be there to either acknowledge it or interact with the character or something like that. Nonetheless, it's a very interesting read if you guys haven't checked it out. It's highly recommended by me. Infidel number 5 as well. If you guys like, once again, horror in the terms of like spirits and possessions, are the ghosts real, are they demons, what have you, it's a cool read. The art is phenomenal in it. So I look forward to Infidel number 5 tomorrow. Definitely be picking that up. Let's see, like you guys have already talked about, the Magic Order. Yeah, Comics Miss explains says he's pumped for Infidel and Gideon Falls. So like I said, Infidel's been really cool lately. Magic Order number 2, you guys said that had a cool variant cover. My shop probably won't get that variant cover in. That is a pretty cool cover. So I guess there it is right there, maybe. I think this is the one you guys were referencing earlier. So that's pretty cool. Might have to look out for that. And then I think yeah, that is a Oliver Coipel number, or I guess number 2A, I guess, if you will. So pretty cool there. Black and white variant as usual. Proxima Centauri. Has anyone read that? Was that a good issue 1? I missed that one. But it looks like issue 2 of that comes out tomorrow. Speaking of Jeff Lemire and Gideon Falls, Royal City number 12 also comes out tomorrow. Excuse me, sorry. Water time. Like I said, mowing the lawn and getting all that grass in your lungs, probably not the best thing to do before a live stream. Versus number 5. And I might give Weatherman number 2 a chance if I see it on Thursday. Just to see, like I said, I was lukewarm on issue 1, but it still interested me a little bit. I might check out Weatherman number 2. It has 3 covers for those of you who like to collect those. What else you guys talk about in the chat? Star Wars 50 cover looks great. Supposed to start a new shift. Then Darth Vader Annual number 2. So Tacoma's looking forward to the Star Wars books. TJ Watson says, Salvador LaRocca, is he still around? I looked. Yeah, that's kind of a good question because he had that big run on I think it was the Darth Vader book with Kieran Gillen, and then Charles Soule took over. I haven't been having a chance to read that. But yeah, Salvador LaRocca, he's got some good stuff out there. Let's see what Marvel has this week. Like I said, Darth Vader's. There's the variant cover. That's kind of a cool variant cover, I guess. Yeah, that's one of those ones if you see you might want to pick up. So that's kind of neat. But I don't know. It's always kind of hard to pass up a cool Mike Deodato. So Mike Deodato did the A cover, it looks like. That's pretty cool. I'd probably prefer this cover, honestly. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's see what else. Mortal Hulk #3 comes out. I know Rich is looking forward to that from the old Batcave. And then everyone's going to get those germs. So there's the Life of Captain Marvel. Didn't they already use this cover? Or no, that was the Eddie Granoff cover. What if I have it laying around? It looks exactly like, am I crazy? Doesn't that look exactly like the Eddie Granoff cover? I might have it here. Stuff everywhere. Dang, my room is getting chaotic. Here it is. Maybe not. So I guess for reference, show them back to back. Hopefully I don't click off of it. And I clicked off of it. So, yeah, there we go. Interesting. So I guess these would be cool, like presented on the wall, like back to back like that, maybe. So Eddie Granoff, Stanley R. Jeremiah. There we go. Kind of neat. Kind of interesting. So, yeah, this is on one of my cell piles, too. All right. Now I got to go back to that because I exited out. Guess let me know how that is. I think I'm going to skip Life of Captain Marvel. We'll see. It looks like if you guys are interested, Midtown Comics is doing a multiple man #1 signed by Matthew Rosenberg for $3.99 on their website. So I know some people like to get these signed covers off Midtown. So Matthew Rosenberg, cover price. It's kind of neat. There's still that Spectacular Spider-Man run. Wow, I didn't even know it's still going. I guess Chip Zdarsky is keeping that going. Oh yeah, I might actually pick up Spider-Gwen. I think this is the last issue of that run. Obviously, they're doing their own cover swipe from the first appearance of Spider-Gwen, so we'll see how that works. Poe Dameron, Thor comes out, Iron Man comes out. Oh, X-Men Red. I just added this to my pull list. X-Men Red's actually been a pretty solid read. So if you guys like X-Men books, I think this is the most must-have X-Men book on the shelves now. So I recommend X-Men Red. I don't know too much about Gold and Blue anymore. I think Blue, they're getting canceled, I think, anyway. So there's nothing much to know. But I guess if you guys like that type of stuff, I guess we'll see. Frizen's going to be doing the covers for X-Men soon. I think she's already been doing some of the X-Men Red covers, but they haven't been the great. I mean, her Wonder Woman stuff's been far superior. Like the last, I think, is Wonder Woman 50. I might have to seek that issue. That was a really good cover for Wonder Woman. Yeah, I guess there's one called X-Men Black coming out. So there's that. I've kind of lost track with the Marvel solicits. I try not to pre-order stuff anymore just because I like to go to my shop. I like to support my shop as much as possible. And then when I was doing the whole pre-order thing on Midtown, I wasn't reading my books. I just didn't have time. I get them once a month. I get stacked like this big and only read like the top quarter of that stack, and then the next one would ship. And I just couldn't keep up, so I gave up because at least usually if I go to a shop one day, I usually go on my day off, and then the rest of the day off I'll spend reading the book. So it's been working out pretty well. I haven't been saving 35 to 50%, but at least I've been reading my books. So what else do you guys want to talk about, if anything? Nothing else. We'll just give one last shout outs, and then wrap it all up. So, oh yeah, we were talking about X-Men. I guess they're doing the whole the X-Kids. I guess they're finally dealing with that whole issue since Bendis is gone now. Like, something's going on in their timeline, so I guess I'll have to go back, and I don't know if they go back, they can go forward. Like I said, I've been out of that loop for a while, so it's getting super confusing what's going on with those previous X-Men's. And then now Trinity's asking, why is the X-Men ripping off the Lantern's color spectrum? Ha ha, just kidding. Well, we haven't got the X-Men Indigo yet. I want to see. We know they'll hit rock bottom when we get X-Men Ultraviolet because the DC's just not doing that one, which I thought was a kind of cool Scott Snyder idea. X-Men Orange would be pretty sweet. Just the greediest X-Men possible. Like who would be on your X-Men Orange team? Like that'd be like what, Mr. Sinister? Maybe Magneto. I don't know. Magneto's not super greedy. He just likes to back the mutants. So. Who else is greedy in the X universe? But yeah, X-Men Orange. Think about your teams, I guess, if nothing else. IDW is going to make Marvel Kids comics, right? Wasn't that announced today? Tacoma says he put Gambit on the X-Men Orange team. That's a pretty good pick. Therefore, you probably have to have Rogue in the team. The Invisible Spectrum. Horns. There we go. All right. So I want to thank you guys. Wow, there's still 7 people watching after an hour. I'm sorry I went this long, guys. But I guess my first foray into a primetime slot. I was surprised to see no one was going live tonight. Usually there's like somebody will go live like every single night at 9. And I saw like, well, there's no one scheduled and I have stuff to do during the afternoon. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. I'm on the East Coast, so this is pretty late for me. It's 10:06. Yeah, WTF, IDW making Marvel comics. They've always had this weird relationship with Marvel. Like, if you get, I think there's this, like, was it the IDW limited hardcover line, I guess. They've done these cool artist editions over the last several years where I'm trying to think of ones they've done. I think they did, I can't remember. I think they did maybe one for G.I. Joe. Even though technically Marvel didn't own that, it was still, like, the Marvel run. And they've done, like, I feel like some John Byrne stuff. But most of that was previous Marvel stuff, and somehow it's distributed by IDW in these like insane format hardcovers that are like always $125 plus for cover. So they've always had this like weird working relationship, it seems like. So all right, so it's getting really hot in here, so I'm going to wrap it up with some shout outs. So once again, thank you guys. Comics Mix Explained. Appreciate you coming in. Tacoma Comics heading out. Thanks, man. Appreciate you coming in. Rich from Reviews from the Batcave. Hope all is well with you, man. Thoughts and prayers with you, sir. Hopefully we'll see you back in the Comic Corps soon. TJ Watson. I think they did a Bernie Wrightson thing with the IDW artist label, if I remember correctly. But nonetheless, you guys should check out TJ Watson's channel. He had just the most insane AOK to Thanatos comics I've seen in a long time. So TJ, I don't know where you got those books just to give away, man, but that was cool. Thumbs up, man. Poor Man's Comics. He's always awesome. I will definitely be putting out. I'm hoping for Thursday because I have Thursday off. Hopefully nothing comes up or crazy. I won't have to mow my lawn on Thursday finally, so that'll be fun. So Poor Man's Comics. I'll make a video for you, Bueller, and probably someone else as a part of my community support series I've been going on my channel. Show off some awesome books. Trinity Entertainment, my Comic Corps brethren, calling me Carson Daly. I haven't heard that joke in about 10 years. Appreciate it, sir. Thanks for making it. Who else we had hop in at least one point in time? Always like to go scroll up in the chat, see what I missed when I was rambling on about comics and such. Who Dat Comics and Movies. He always has great live streams about the same days I do. So check out his stuff. Set your alarms, alerts. So you can get his stuff. He'll probably be on the Legends live auction once again this Saturday, 10 p.m. Comic Book Estate, always showing those awesome, older books on his channel. He always has an awesome point of view and some great knowledge to drop on his books. The Jordan of the Jordan Pippin auction duo, Roman Curtis, was in the chat. So thank you, Roman. Hopefully, I guess next auction I am a part of. Hopefully Roman will be a part of that. He's always making it rain with his bids and his money. Who else did we have in here? Of course, Chad from Reviews from the Batcave. One day, I'm kind of hoping we see Broken Chad in at least one Comic Corps video. I know no one else wants it, but he keeps teasing Broken Chad. Maybe we'll get that one day. Miss Hustle, the Princess of Canada, I guess is her moniker. I almost queued up the Canadian national anthem anticipating Miss Hustle will be in the chat, but I was just like, she probably won't be when I do that. Fortunately, I didn't queue it up on YouTube, but I think I'm going to do it next time. We'll see. Mr. White Glove Splash Page Comics stopped by. Thank you, sir. He always has, like I said, another guy who has phenomenal finds. Spider Comics 7, another awesome YouTuber with a great channel. Farley Nerd Cave. I think I just recently subbed him up. He's got some good stuff. Comic Bags 22. I think he might still have a contest going as well, actually. So check out Comic Bags 22's contest. Young YouTuber. He's just starting off his collection. So like I said, he's going to have a phenomenal collection one day. So check out his collecting journey, if you will. He's already putting stuff in Mylar bags. I don't even know what a Mylar was when I was his age. So let's see. Jesse from JLS Comics stopped by. I always appreciate that. He has an awesome video, or an awesome series with a live stream of guys 8:30 every Thursday, I believe. I think they're pretty consistent about that. I think they've only missed maybe 1 or 2 Thursdays, but they'll probably be live this Thursday as well. And I think, oh yeah, Gomez stopped by. Gomez Comic Collector always called me Woodhard. So Gomez, he's always energetic and great. I think someone in the New York Warriors was like, and Gomez always drinks like 3 Red Bulls or 2 Monsters before his videos. So I would believe that. So and then J Rod Ham 78 stopped by. Thank you, sir. I believe that was everybody, unless I missed something else. All right, hour and 10 minutes. Dang, I think that's a new record for me. Sorry, guys. Last thoughts. Might sell ASM 129 on Legends auction. Ooh, so let me know about that one. I'll put a few bucks on that, and then probably back out once someone like Contender comes in with his boxing glove and puts a big boy bid. So he's always a good bidder too. So shout out to yeah, Legends Live Auction. Mail better not. Starting bid $1. So I guess you heard it here first. Rich will be selling Amazing Spider-Man 129. Hopefully Chad didn't give it away to somebody. So there you go. I don't know when that will be. Maybe it'll be this Saturday. Tune in, Legends Live Auction. Or maybe he'll announce it on Comic Course Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern. Be there. Poor man's saying do it right now while there's like 6 people looking. So I don't think you get too many bids with 6 people. I don't know, between me, Trinity, Poor Man in here, and Comics Miss Explained, we might be able to get up to like $50 for you. Poor Man's, he's been bidding on everything on these auctions. Like, he probably bid it up to like $1,000. He's got that money, I'm sure. Mr. Rich Man's Comics there. So I'll run PMC. So there we go. All right, I've rambled on long enough. Thank you guys so much. Everything. Always appreciate the support. Can't believe I can just hit the live stream button and people pop in. Promise, hopefully next time I won't have like a bad link where you guys sit in there forever and then I start rambling in another video and then you guys are sitting there chatting with each other. So I apologize for that once again. Like I said, I'll have one technical difficulty every live stream I have. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful comic book day tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of the week. I'll see you guys, well, I guess Thursday for community support, and then Friday for Comic Core. So once again, thank you guys so much. Have a good night.